Welcome back, everybody, for another session. I'm Al Shar from the Center for Urban Teaching, presenting to you this mini lesson of strong finishes. Buckle up, we're going to move pretty quick. Remember, the name of the game for the duration of teacher performance in a high poverty area is de-stressing teacher and self and creating an environment of peace where the joy of the Lord can be present and the facts of the gospel can be understood and experienced in a real personal way. With that being said, this session is focusing on how to finish a lesson strong. This is the second part of stellar starts and strong finishes. It's important to end a lesson strong so that students have a quiet environment to work and the teacher has a quiet environment to both de-stress and relax and take a break from a highly intense teaching lesson. A teacher has probably been teaching the core part of the lesson for about 20 minutes, and that's a high cognitive energy sucking event, and you're just using a lot of energy. So it's really important to build in time for the teacher to kind of come and have a chance to recoup. They did a study of top athletes at the Wimbledon tennis tournaments, and what they found was quite astounding. And so many of those athletes are so evenly matched that they found that the winning factor in those tennis matches was how well the athlete took a break between sets. And whoever rested the best in those intense tennis matches was the one that was the victorious in the end. And so it's really important for us as teachers in between lessons to build in times for us to breathe, get some water, drink some coffee, and take a mini mental break. And you can still do that on your feet as you're circulating the classroom. And I'm going to show you how in this session. We already discussed why it was important to have a strong finish. Here are some. You can read those on your own. That last one is extremely important because we want to take our kids, intro the lesson, take them on a ride, bring them back down to the end of the lesson, and have this place of peace before we get into the next lesson or item on the agenda. It ends in peace. We talked about the Wimbledon tennis match, and that's why there's a tennis ball there. The goals are 100% of the students are engaged either in homework or practicing what they just learned. Volume 0, it's dead calm. Teacher is calm and recovering from the lesson. Part of the components of having a strong finish are having clear directions. And it's really important that teachers give themselves time to invest on the front end to clarify all directions in the process. Explain everything numerous times and ask and welcome questions from the students before you tell them to begin. If you spend 5 minutes explaining 2 minutes of activity, that's perfectly okay. In some of my science classes, I would spend 10 minutes with middle schoolers explaining 5 minutes of the activity. This ensured that everything was going to go well when it was time for them to begin. I want to answer all the questions before the students begin working. And last bullet, number 4, ask likely suspects to explain everything. When I asked my students who needed the most support what we were going to be doing, and they could explain it back to me in the group, that ensured that when they got off task, they knew and I knew, and they knew that I knew that they knew exactly what they were supposed to be doing. So I could just come up to them and ask, do you know what you're supposed to be doing? And since they had already told me that they knew exactly what they had to do, they could hold themselves accountable to knowing that information. And if they were a little off task from time to time, I could just ask them, do you know what you're supposed to be doing? They would say yes, and then I would just ask, how can I help you get there? So if you're watching this with a friend, discuss activities students can do at their seats silently while other students work, because students always need to know, if I finish my homework, what else do I have to be doing so that I can keep myself engaged, calm, and silent. A strong finish includes a when you are finished activity after the exit ticket. So some things that were common in my room were start on your homework, read a book, work in your binder. I always had plenty of work for my students to do in their binder. Work on your spelling, grammar, handwriting, or your story. We have so much going on today, I would tell them. And we always had story ideas on the board that students could write. When you come in for our training sessions on a strong finish, you will observe some of these mini lessons and be able to dissect what's this teacher doing that makes this so effective, and then you're going to be able to work on your own. Thanks so much for chiming in to this session, and I will see you here next time. Go ahead and click that subscribe button at the bottom, and we'll keep these videos coming out. Have a great day.